Hey guys, it's your boy Acro who is still in college and
painfully suffering in college.
But now I'm going to discuss about Sigmund Freud. So who is Sigmund Freud? He's just a guy who founded up psychoanalysis and became the father of psychoanalysis, plus who also made a theory about psychosexual development. But first we need to recap about his personality structure in id, ego, and superego. Id is the instinctual component of personality that is present at birth and is the source of bodily needs and wants, emotional impulses and desires, especially aggression and the libido, also known as sex drive. It is also part of a unconscious level where the memory cannot recall specifically but can retain of bits of memory. So an example, if you're hungry and your stomach is growling for food and you saw a jalbi branch and decided to eat there, then that is an example of id. Next is ego. The ego acts according to the reality principle. This is how we comprehend in reality in the way we functioning our desires in id and our moral ethics in superego. The conscious level contains all of the thoughts and what we are thinking right now or experiencing at any given moment. An example, if my boy Acro remember his assignment the next week is TFN reporting, but also remembers that he needs to maintain his good grades this semester, that is his id. And because of that, he listened to watch some anime so that it won't prevent him in making more time to make his presentation. That is his superego. And lastly is superego. The superego is our moral ethics about the nature of right and wrong. It is in the level of pre-conscious where we never use it on time, but when it comes to a challenge of such of doing on what is right and wrong, then we use it as our guide to our own morality. An example is that if you are a girl and you have a crush, but the guy you like had already a girlfriend and you of course is still sad and lonely. What I mean is that you decide to not to pursue anymore to your crush because it is inherently wrong to pursue someone on who is already in a relationship. That is an example of superego. And now let's go to the main topic of the lesson, the psychosexual development. So what is psychosexual development? In Freudian psychology, psychosexual development is a central element of the psychoanalytical sexual drive theory. Freud believed that personality developed through a series of childhood stages in which pleasure-seeking energy from the child become focused on certain erogenous areas. Now, there are 5 stages in psychosexual development, and those are oral, anal, phallic, latency, and genital. Oral stage is 0 years old to 2 years old. In the first stage of psychosexual development, the libido is centered in a baby's mouth. During the oral stage, the baby gets much satisfaction from putting all sorts of things in its mouth to satisfy the libido, and thus its id demands, which at this stage in life are oral or mouth-oriented, such as sucking, biting, and breastfeeding. If the infant were denied by these oral requirements when they were baby, later in life they'll look for it. The following are smoking, chewing gum, finger chewing, and other related oral personalities engage in such oral behaviors, particularly when under they are stressed. Anal stage, 1 year old to 3 years old. During the anal stage of psychosexual development, the libido becomes focused on the anus and the child derives great pleasure from defecating. The child is now fully aware that they are a person in their own right and their wishes can bring them into conflict with the demands of the outside world, i.e. their ego has also developed as well in this stage. The nature of this first conflict with authority can determine the child's future relationship with all forms of authority. So, if the child develops an early potting training with the praises and encouragement with his parents, he could be an upstanding citizen. So, if the child develops a harsh conditioning in pouting, then the child will be anal retentive personality, over-controlling, and insecurity with a tendency in following the authority. So, in another, if the child develops a neglected condition in pouting, then the child will be stubborn and tight-fisted with others' personality and feelings, or he or she may develop rebellious against society. God, this is so surreal. So, the moral lesson of the story: phallic stage, 3 years old to 6 years old, wherein the infant's libido centers upon their genitalia as the erogenous zone. The child becomes aware of anatomical sex differences, which sets in motion that conflicts between erotic attraction, resentment, rivalry, jealousy, and fear, which Freud called the Oedipus Complex for the boys, and the 𝓕𝓑 Complex is for the girls. This is resolved through the process of identification, which involves the child adopting the characteristics of the same-sex parent. In this age, the infant will develop its superego. And now, I'm about to tackle the meaning of Oedipus Complex and 𝓕𝓑 Complex. The most important aspect of the phallic stage is the Oedipus Complex. This is one of the Freud's most controversial ideas and one of the many people reject outright. The name of Oedipus Complex derived from the Greek myth where Oedipus, a young man, kills his father and marries his mother. Upon discovering this, he pokes his eyes out and becomes blind. Rationally, the boy thinks that if his father were to find out about all this, his father would take away what he loves the most. During the phallic stage, what the boy loves most is his penis. Hence, the boy develops a castration anxiety. The little boy then sets out to resolve this problem by imitating, copying, and joining in masculine dad-type behaviors. That is called the identification and is how the 3 to 5 years old boy resolves his Oedipus Complex. Identification means internally adapting the values, attitude, and behaviors of another person. The consequences of this is that the boy takes on the male gender role and adapts an ego ideal and values that becomes the superego. So basically you're saying Oedipus is a MIlf lover. Damn it, no! 𝓕𝓑 Complex. For girls, the Oedipus or 𝓕𝓑 Complex is less than satisfactory. Briefly, the girl desires the father but realizes that she does not have a penis.
Damn, son.
This leads to the development of penis envy and wishes to be a boy. The girl resolves this by repressing her desire for her father and substituting the wish for a penis with the wish for a baby. The girl blames her mother for her castrated state and this creates great tension. The girl then represses her feelings to remove the tension and identifies with the mother to take on the female gender role. So, it's pedophilia, but it's reverse. Damn it, man! Don't make it weird! Latency stage, 6 years old to 13 years old. During this stage, the libido is dormant and no further psychosexual development takes place. Latent means hidden. Freud thought that the most sexual impulses are repressed during the latent stage and sexual energies can be sublimated towards schoolworks, hobbies, and friendships. Child's energy is channeled into developing new skills and acquiring new knowledge, and play becomes largely confined to other children of the same gender. Genital stage, 13 years old to adolescence. It is time of adolescent sexual experimentation, the successful resolution of which is setting down in a loving one-to-one relationship with another person in our 20s. Sexual instinct is directed to heterosexual pleasure rather than self-pleasure like during the phallic stage. For Freud, the proper outlet of sexual instincts in adult was through heterosexual intercourse. So overall of my research, Sigmund Freud is good at explaining things in the form of pathology, where he can assume on what kind of development of a man will be in his interpretation, but not good at predicting the behavior of the person. And I believe that Sigmund Freud is one of the most respectable man and has no stain in making incestuous ideas in his past when he made this contribution of knowledge in the academics. Oh no. Hey guys, it's your boy 𝓕𝓑. Thank you for watching my video about Sigmund Freud. To be honest, this video is meant as an experimental video for my subject NCMA, which I intended to share it to my classmates as a summary in our report. Big shout out to my classmates in my groupings, 𝓕𝓑 and Maria Belen Tulagan, for making this video, and as a respect courtesy for my colleagues. The script that I use in this video is not mine. It is owned by someone you can also find it below down to the description. I'll also link it if you want to look for it. And also for the video reference that I use is a direct content from the owner. I'll give it later on. My name is Acro and maligayang taon sa inyong mga weebs. Paalam.